I remember the first time that I learned a word that didn't have an English translation. I was in business school with my friend Eugene. She'd just come here from Korea. We were doing an economics problem set, and she was erasing something. She said to me, "Rob, what's the word for after you erase something? What's left over?" I looked at her and I thought, I said, "You've erased it. There's nothing left." And she kind of looked at me and said, no, I mean the pink stuff, the little pink things after you erase something. What do you call that?" And I said, "We don't have a word for that. Maybe eraser shavings, but there's no word in English." And she looked at me and said, funny. That's weird. We have a word for that in Korean." It got me thinking. Words are magical things. That something having a name is very special. Dale Carnegie, the writer of How to Win Friends and Influence People, said, "There's no sound that to a person that is so beautiful to him or her and so important as the sound of their own name in any language." And it's true. There's a big difference between someone saying, "That guy over there at Toastmasters," versus, "That guy over there is Rob Schlaff." And I started thinking about what other words aren't translatable in English. And I thought that most of these words would be just very specific about a specific place in the world, like Porankusuma, the distance that a reindeer can travel without taking a break. That's a Finnish word. Or the native indigenous Australian word, murma, to walk through water, searching for something with only your feet. These aren't things I have much use for. But then I came across words that are influenced by culture or environment, but are very useful to me. So for instance, if I'm sitting inside in the middle of winter, I see a beautiful day outside, and it's just beautiful, and I think I should go outside, but then I realize it's absolutely freezing cold and should not go outside at all. That's glukavadur. It's an Icelandic word. Or if I've eaten a huge Italian meal and I'm really tired afterwards from all this food, that's abioko. And as I started learning more about the different cultures and the different words that people have around the world, I thought these cultural differences would really come out a lot. Like the story of the fact that Eskimos have hundreds of words for snow. But it turns out that story even isn't true. We don't have nearly as many words for snow, as more words than anybody else. Similarly, though we have different words around the world, the feelings are very common. For instance, if I'm moving or doing a huge amount of work, and the only thing, and I need you to help me, I need lots of friends to help me, and the only thing I'm going to give you guys at the end of the day is a great meal that we all share, that's talaka, a word from Belarus. And if I have friends that are so close to me that they're almost like family, or they are family, I would use the word nakama, a Japanese word. And then there's a couple wonderful words that we don't have words for English, but we certainly do them. Like the Brazilian word kafune, for just running your fingers through someone's hair. Or that joke where you tap somebody on the shoulder and you run away and you try and fool them. It's called mencolek. It's from Indonesia. But my favorite word is a Russian word called pachmuchka. Pachmuchka is a child or another person who just asks lots and lots of questions. When I was a kid, I asked lots of questions, and I'd love to have that word. Because then instead of being Rob, the really annoying kid who asks all the questions. I'd just be Rob the Pachmuchka. It's a small victory, but it would have made me feel so much better. So all of this reminds me of a story I heard from a rabbi a few years ago. It was December, it was Hanukkah, it's the Jewish holiday of lighting candles. He was also a medieval scholar. He was telling us all about how Hanukkah is similar to a lot of other holidays like Christmas and Saturnalia, and they all fall right around the winter solstice. And this isn't a coincidence. At that time of the year, the sun gets smaller and smaller, the days get smaller and smaller and smaller, and it feels like almost the sun's going to disappear. And all of these people are coming together and praying to their God to make the sun come back. I said to him, Rabbi, doesn't this make you feel just not as special? Because, we're just the same as everybody else. That means we're not unique. He said, no, Rob, it doesn't. It makes me realize that everyone around the world has the same fears and goals, and that we're all part of one human race. And in this time of conflict where the whole world's just filled with so much divisiveness, makes me realize that we can come together. So I ask you, the next time that you see a person and you don't understand them, you don't understand what they're saying, and it doesn't make sense to you, just take a step back and think about kind of what you have in common. And then take a step forward and realize you have differences, but you can learn from these differences. And hopefully by doing this, we can make the world a better place, one word at a time and one conversation at a time. Thank you very much.